Another important thing that all of us, we need to work together, because no single agency or person can fight corruption anywhere in the world.
As we speak, there's no whistleblower protection act in one form or the other in a lot of our country.
Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Hawasani Garba. The African Union Assembly declared the 11th of July of every year as the African Anti-Corruption Day. This day is set aside to evaluate the role of corruption in the underdevelopment of African states and provide the necessary reports to assess any gains made so far, the viability of existing tools, the potential of new ideas, the success of countries and partnerships that need strengthening. This year's edition is themed Effective Whistleblowers Protection Mechanism, a critical tool in the fight against corruption. Today's edition of Corruption Must Go focuses on whistleblower protection, incentives and policies put in place to promote whistleblowing in Nigeria.
Corruption not in my country.
Well, this whole front section is gone, so you need to replace the whole front.
No, it's just the bumper that needs.
No. Let me be the judge of that. Wells. The paint here is off, so you need to repaint the whole car. The whole car.
It's just a scratch.
That is the report that will be given to the insurance for your claim, unless you.
There's one guy.
Yes.
Is that your phone?
Oh yes, my phone.
Hello, FI Insurance.
Huh?
Please, I want to complain about one of your inspectors here. He's begging me now. Don't beg me. He's asking for a bribe. This corruption, not in my country. Bomba.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Whistleblowing is the act of revealing information of illegal activities on any sector or organization. A whistleblower, therefore, is one who comes forward to report or reveal that information. The African Union Anti-Corruption Day was created to prevent and combat corruption in Africa as a whole. In Ghana, the Whistleblower Act provides legal protections and remedies to all people, employees, and citizens who report crime and misconduct in the public interest of Ghana. In Tanzania, provision is made for protection of identity and protection against retribution. These countries and many others have put policies in place to promote the act of whistleblowing. This year, the African Union Anti-Corruption Day was celebrated in Abuja with representatives from anti-graft agencies, also including international bodies present. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister for Justice, Justice Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, called for collaboration among anti-corruption agencies. Take a listen.
Whistleblowing is a tool used in combating corruption to encourage reporting of misconduct, fraud and corruption, decrease in corruption risk, increase detection of corruption, create a more accountable workplace, and it assists authorities in monitoring compliance with anti-corruption laws. The need to protect whistleblowers was brought into the forefront of frontrunner after the implementation in 2016 of the Nigerian stopgap policy on whistleblowing, leading to the whistleblowing protection bill proposed in 2019, a legislation that seeks to provide wider protection for whistleblowers. The bill is still pending before the National Assembly, and all hands must be on deck to ensure a speedy passage of the bill to strengthen and enable protection of whistleblowers that provide information for use by government or any of its agencies. The challenge being faced by whistleblowers are insufficient knowledge of law, fear of reprisal, lack of meaningful implementation of the law, confidential or loyalty provisions, cultural / historic barriers, among others. In ensuring an effective whistleblowing mechanism is put in place to tackle corruption, it is mandatory or very key for government to put in place an effective law to protect whistleblowers from risk, and also educate and create awareness on the rules and procedures of whistleblowing, and also to create an organizational culture of transparency that supports whistleblowing.
Welcome back. This is Corruption Must Go. In Nigeria, some progresses have been made in recent years in terms of whistleblower protection. The Whistleblower Protection Act 2016 provides some legal protections for whistleblowers, including immunity from persecution and protection from retaliation. However, more needs to be done to strengthen this law and ensure its effective implementation. In his goodwill message, the ICPC chairman, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, underscored the importance of whistleblowing and measures that can be deployed in Nigeria to ensure that citizens take more responsibility to expose corrupt practices.
Corruption, like was said, is always being done in secrecy, and we need people to come over and disclose this thing, but these people need protection, which the framework needs to be provided. And I'd like to say that another important thing that all of us, we need to work together, because no single agency or person can fight corruption anywhere in the world. And once we are united, people will have confidence in coming to us and giving us information once they know that they will have protection with the information they have given to us. And I would like to use this opportunity to appeal to the National Assembly to pass a bill that is currently pending before the August body, at least so that people will have protection and that will give them confidence to come over. Otherwise, we will continue to have challenge. A challenge which will now discourage people to come over. Although I know that the ICPC Act and EFCC Act have a window of protection given to the informants of whistleblower, but they are not enough. We need a robust act of National Assembly that will protect these people that are risking their life to come over and disclose issues pertaining to corruption in our country.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
In her opening remark, the head of Technical Unit on Governance and Anti-Corruption Reform, TUGA, Jane Onwumere, underscored the importance of whistleblowing and called for the strict implementation of the Whistleblower Act.
You may recall that last year marked 20 years of adoption of the convention, and that the African Anti-Corruption Day 2023 focused on implementation reviews. The review of implementation report reveals that one of the major challenges to the fight against corruption in the region is inadequate whistleblowing systems and mechanisms. Article 5 of the Convention obligates state parties to adopt measures that ensure citizens report instances of corruption without fear or consequence of reprisals. The importance of whistleblowers in the fight against corruption cannot be overemphasized. They therefore need to be guaranteed adequate protection to report corruption without fear or retaliation. The absence of a whistleblower's protection law was also one among several other findings in the review of Nigeria's implementation of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Incidentally, last year also marked 2 decades of implementation of the UNCAC, and the stock-taking exercise undertaken locally shows that while many of the recommendations have been addressed, the issue of absence of the whistleblower's protection law persists. Though the Whistleblowing Policy 2016 is being implemented pending the passage of the Whistleblowers Protection Law, there are concerns with the level of protection it affords and the need for better understanding of the legal and administrative frameworks of the policy, including the difficulties of navigating the bureaucratic processes for claiming the incentives. We therefore must meet our treaty obligation and strengthen our whistleblower protection regime by passing a law to that effect.
There were goodwill messages by MacArthur Foundation, Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption, ROLAC, Center for Democratic Development, CDD, and heads of agencies present.
Today, Africa Day is a day that all of us who are committed to improving the quality of lives of our citizens come together to celebrate the Anti-Corruption Day. So I'm very happy that we have been able to support the commemoration of this important event as well. I'm also very happy to see so many distinguished guests, head of various agencies who are here, and of course, all of you out there who are doing the real work. Organizations like MacArthur, what we know is we try to support people, but we cannot do our work unless those of you in the audience who are doing the good work are there. So thank you very much, all of you who are here this morning. Thank you very much, all those who have joined online, for all the good that you do in order to make our country better for humanity.
Democracy cannot be sustained if it does not deliver good dividend to the people. Delivering dividend to the people is dead on arrival where there is corruption pervasively. And therefore, it becomes clear that whistleblowers should actually be on the front line patriots. Whistleblowers are our front line patriots in a country like Nigeria. Protecting them is a sine qua non. We cannot but protect them, because without whistleblowers, the fight against corruption is dead on arrival.
We also today are reminded of the significant challenges that corruption poses to democracy, democratic processes, sustainable development, and growth in Africa. It undermines institutions, it reduces economic progress, and by strengthening the frameworks that creates enabling environment for whistleblowers, we are contributing in very significant measures to bring the Africa that we all desire to be. This fight is a continuous journey. It requires unwavering commitment, innovative strategies, and together we can achieve the Africa we want to see.
As we speak, there's no Whistleblower Protection Act in one form or the other in a lot We don't have anyone in Nigeria as we speak. The policies we have, which we try to enthrone, if you ask me, need to be strengthened and passed into law so that we can have a framework. The lack of proper implementation, as well as non-existence of such legislative instruments, has greatly reduced the intended impact of the interventions of potential whistleblowers. It is imperative that we come together as a continent and Nigeria as a nation to strengthen the support for whistleblowers because they are at various risks. We can do this by putting in place strong, effective structures and framework.
Effective whistleblowing is contingent on existence of protection mechanism, which whistleblowers require to effectively utilize the information at their disposal as tools to push the boundaries of transparency and accountability. To this end, NITI has consistently advocated for comprehensive development of legal framework and policies within the extractive sector and beyond to guarantee safety and protection for whistleblowers. We produce industry reports annually, and these reports are full of information and data which are very key in the fight against corruption. And this information and data are tools which whistleblowers working closely with the civil society and the media can use to tackle issues of public debate required to advance and deepen reforms that will require to bring the desired impact.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
You are still watching Corruption Must Go. In their paper presentations, the chairman EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, and Mr. Ashley Emenike, Executive Secretary, Global Organization of Parliamentarians Against Corruption, GOPAC, all highlighted the impact of the whistleblowing policy on public sector accountability and whistleblower protection in Nigeria, role of civil society, challenges, and the way forward.
Now, the mindless stealing of public resources in the last 7 years showed that looters are now more daring than ever and caused to question the efficacy of the whistleblower policy. Now, what went wrong with the policy? Because that's part of the things we need to also review in this gathering. The loss of momentum of this whistleblowing policy is the product of a combination of factors ranging from policy flaws to implementation hiccups. In the area of policy, stakeholders within the anti-corruption community have faulted the absence of a legal framework, which a lot of the speakers that spoke before me have mentioned. The absence of a whistleblowing protection law, for instance, exposed whistleblowers to victimization and even threat of violent attacks. Now the way forward. In concluding this presentation, I am of the view that the emphasis on incentives as the driving force of the policy should be revisited. A sustainable whistleblower program should be anchored on a moral foundation in which citizens provide information as a matter of patriotic duty. Yes, incentives can come, but most importantly, we must see it as a patriotic duty, as the duty we owe our nation, that when you see something going wrong, you also say something.
But the objectives of the Witness Protection Act are quickly run through that is to establish a legal and institutional framework to protect witnesses and related persons, and to ensure effective use and nationwide supervision of witness protection officers, and of course harmonize existing laws and policies on witness protection and management. Now, like in the last assembly, the Proceeds of Crime Act, which was put in place, did not create a new agency, but established a framework for those seizing entities to manage how they handle proceeds of crime. This is the same thing as happened in the Witness Protection Act. There are those who are relevant authorities who would have need to protect witnesses. This framework is basically meant for them to use in that protection of witnesses. So now what is the way forward? Of course, the civil society has a very key role. The advocacies they conduct, without it, sometimes it helps to allow governments to take things seriously. If there's an area of our world that is taking seriously, that the civil society organizations like what we're doing today, without CSOs, will not be able to do it. The advocacy they play, not just for general public, but advocacies they play within the corridors of power, within the National Assembly, even within the executive and judiciary are crucial.
The event also saw the presentation of the Third National Corruption Survey in Nigeria by the Bureau of Statistics, UNODC, and MacArthur Foundation. With whistleblower policies in place, citizens are motivated to review corrupt practices to promote a corruption-free Nigeria. This is all we can take on today's edition of the program. Do not forget to join us next week Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. for another edition of Corruption Must Go. You can also watch missed editions on our YouTube channel at ICPC Nigeria. Stay safe and remember that corruption is evil. I am Hawasani Garba saying bye for now.